Hey everyone, it's Jonathan from Motorcycology. So in today's video, I'm going to be painting the brand new water pump and I'm going to be refreshing the water pump pulley. I'm going to be painting the water pump engine specific color to that time period. So that's the plan and we'll see how it goes. Then I'm going to put the water pump pulley and fan that I redid a few months ago together and see how that looks. So this is very much a video for those people that are into restoring their C3s or other vehicles, and it's just some techniques and some of the work and effort that has to be done in order to get these things looking as close to new as possible. So stick around, enjoy the video, and let's get into it. So here's the old water pump. It's out and ready for scrap metal. So when it comes to painting this, it's important to cover up all the holes and all the surfaces that you don't want painted. So that'll include this. I don't want to have the spindle painted. I don't want any paint going down any of the holes or anything like that. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen these before, and I'm sure some of you have, but it's a assortment of various plugs which are made out of silicone, and they will generally fit in each one of those holes to protect them from getting any paint or any other stuff in it. So this is the company, and I believe I got these off Amazon. So hard to do this type of work without having those type of things. The main areas that I want to stick these things are going to be in the areas where I'm going to put the bolts. I don't really care if it gets painted on that side. It's not going to make any difference, I don't think. That one, let's see, this big orange one, maybe that'll fit in there. Excellent. Some of the other ones, so we know there's going to be two blue in there. Perfect. We've got a little weep hole, so this would be on the bottom when the water pump is in there. That's a weep hole. And it looks like a black will fit in there, or maybe not. Let's try an orange one here. See if that'll work. That's great, perfect fit. Look for any other holes. Oh, super big one here. Let's try and get that one covered. The largest one I have is the orange one. Ooh, that's not going to work. That's not a big deal. Certainly convenient if you have that. Failing that, you want to use some sort of painter's tape, which is what I'm going to use here. So other things that you can do, and I'm going to try do this. I'm going to stick some aluminum foil around here and in that hole, and that should be good. And then I've got to tape the bottom as well. Try and make this into like a cone shaped if possible. Perfect. I'm going to do the same for the lower rad hose opening. Just using my hammer to tap it in and spread the foil around a little bit. Perfect. Now for the top, I'm going to do the same thing with the foil as well. Flip it over and tape this up. Flip it around. So lots of people have opinions on whether or not it's worthwhile to paint the water pump. If it were just for my normal car, I wouldn't. But because it's for this Corvette, it's always fun to do something different. People always want to see the engine in a Corvette and stuff like that. So if it looks good, it's more interesting to people, I think. There we go. I think that's good enough. The last thing that I have to do are these guys here, and I'm just going to cover the entire thing. And same with that. So I don't want any paint anywhere near this. So I'm going to put some tape over that and trim it. Same with that. Should be pretty straightforward. Trim around these guys. I don't know if any of you have ever made gaskets before. You kind of put the gasket material over here and you tap it lightly with a ball peen hammer. It's almost the same idea. So I got a better idea. Just going to cut around it. Okay, that should fit on nicely. Pretty good. I like that. I'll do the same on the other one here. Just kind of crease it, make sure I can see what it is, the outline. Take it off. There's the outline that I'm looking for. That can go back on here. There, perfect. I'm going to run some tape around here so I don't get any in the crack there. So, just like so. Let's fire some primer on this.
For a lot of the priming and painting parts of this video, I'm going to show a little bit of each section in real time, and then I'm going to speed it up to be a little bit faster. I still want to show the process, but I'm going to speed it up to 9 or 10 times the normal speed. That way I can capture all the stuff that I'm doing, but not have a video that is super long. Anyway, that's the process I'm using, so hopefully it works.
There, we're going to let this dry overnight and then come back tomorrow and put some final paint on it. Okay, it's the next day and I'm just going to lightly buff this primer. I do have a dilemma though, whether or not I should paint it blue or orange. You've got the blue color, which I could paint it, or I've got the Chevy orange, which I could paint it that color. Unfortunately, for most, I'm going to paint it this color. The reason I'm doing that is because this particular year, Chevy 1977, for the Corvette, this was the color that they painted the engine block and the oil pan. So I'm going to match that. I'm not personally too thrilled about it, but it is what it is, and I want to keep the Corvette as close to original looking as possible. So I'm going to put this on it, and you know what? If at a later time I don't really like it, then I'll just do the orange anyhow. So let's put one light coat on now, and then we'll come back and do another coat. This is my makeshift painting booth, and just keeps the overspray out. So let's paint it. Let's give that a shot. First coat's going to be really, really light. That's interesting color. Flip it around. This, by the way, is engine enamel. There we go. We'll let that dry for a while and we'll come back and give it another coat. Just spraying the back. All right, we'll let that dry and then we'll come back for another coat. Just putting on another light coat here. Okay, this is dry now, so I'm going to flip that over. All right, we'll let that sit and dry, probably overnight now, and we'll check it out tomorrow morning. It's a day later, and I'm going to do a final paint on this. So let's do that. That's it. I'm done with this for now, and we'll move on to the next thing. Now I'm going to clean the water pump bolts, and I'm going to do them individually and keep them associated with each label so I don't mix them up. So I want to get them clean and I want to keep them associated with each separate label. Also, I'm going to just rinse this down, and this thing here is ready for priming and painting. And that'll look great when that's done. So I'm just going to rinse this one off and then also wash the bolts as well. So let's do that. So top left. You can see how they need to be cleaned. They're all dirty in there. So we'll clean those up and we'll relabel them as well. So I'm just going to do one at a time so I don't get them mixed up. And with a lot of stuff that I use this orange degreaser, which seems to work really, really well. I'm going to spray this down as one last time. Whoops. There we go. Use my big parts brush, which is this guy here. Get this one final blast. Still pretty dirty. Let this thing dry and it's ready for priming and painting. Looks great. All right, let's spray this guy down. This looks way better just with a quick brush and some of this stuff. That's one done. I'm going to repeat the same for the other three. And these guys can go back into service as they are. There we go. Top right. Put that back in the parts bag, which is this thing. Drop it in. And I'm going to put this away for now until it's time to put the water pump back in. Okay, it's been a few days since this has been painted, so it's nice and dry. I'm just going to take all the tape off of it and see how it looks. So these are those little plugs. Remember those? These can clean up pretty easily with just cracking the paint back off of them, and you can get them back to their normal color pretty much. And I'll do that later. So popping some of these out. You can see how well it kept the holes in there. Nice. Same with that one. Got some other ones over here. Right there. Another guy down here. This big one here. And take that out. That looks great as well. And untape it. All right. Take this off. looking good. And we got this to take out. And finally, so let's have a final look here. Not too bad. Maybe an area that I can touch it up, which I will. Other than that, pretty good. I like it, but I'm still not 100% sold on having it blue. What can you do? All right, I'm going to put this away and start working on some other stuff. Okay, working on painting the water pump pulley as well, and you can see in here somewhere, I don't know if I've got the good light for that, but it's got a serial number of 346299AM. So that's right here. Now I'm going to just clean it with some acetone and then spray some primer on it for now. So let's get into that. All right, let's spray this one down. We'll let that dry and then come back and do the other side. Okay, turning this guy over to paint. Looks not too bad. Try this side. And not looking too bad coming out here. That's it for priming, and next we'll paint it black. All right, well this is dry. And now I'm just gonna do a light bit of sanding on it. Not much at all. All right, now I'm gonna spray paint it black. I'm using a semi-gloss black professional high performance enamel. I'll let that coat dry, flip it over and do the other coat. So I wasn't too happy with how the first coat of paint reacted with the primer, so I'm going to try and give it another coat Try give it another coat with a different, by paint by a different company. See how it goes. Definitely looking a lot better. So let's let that one dry and put on another coat. Turn this around and paint the other side. It's looking pretty good. Do a bit of sanding on that and before I do the second coat. So I'm going to do this one now. And we'll let that dry and lightly sand it and do it again. Okay, there's a few things that still need to be done to get this thing completed. I'm going to put in the bypass nut there, which is a new one, slightly different style than the other one, but that's good. And I'm also going to put in the water pump heater hose nipple. So this is a new one, and that will be going in the side here. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to show you what I have as far as the final product. So I'm going to get ready to put on the bypass nut. It's about a 1/2 inch in the center there. Just going to wrap it around a few times here. There we go. And you don't need too much, but because we're dealing with antifreeze and coolant and water, you want to make sure that you get a watertight seal in there. So let's put that in and see how it goes. Lightly tighten it up. And there we go. That's in. Now we're going to move on to putting on the water pump heater hose nipple. And this is for a car that has air conditioning. So let's get that ready. There it is there. So I'm going to make sure I put on the stuff here. Same thing, and let's get that ready to tighten up. Grab a tool here. Not too sure which is the best size. There we go. There we go. We've got the heater hose nipple in, and we've got the bypass in, and that's good to go. Okay, I have this for later. It's a Felpro gasket. It has the water pump gaskets in there. It also has the timing cover seal, and the gasket for the oil pan, which I'm not going to use because I have a complete set, which I'll do then. So that's the final parts that we need, is the gasket. And I want to show you some other things here, just a sec. So just to finalize the complete parts here, we've got the new water pump painted to that Chevy blue, which is characteristic of a 1977. And we've got this pulley, which looks pretty good actually as far as being refreshed. That would normally sit on here like this. Like that. Let's see if I can get it. And then, I don't know if you guys remember this, we've got the fan. So normally the fan would sit on up here like so, and then be bolted in. So I'm just going to lie that down. So here's your final setup here, and you've got the water pump and also hooked on with the fan as well. So that is more or less good to go. Looking at it, I might paint this part in here before I do the final install, but there's your water pump, pulleys, and the fan ready to go on when I'm ready to install it, which is hopefully soon. Hey everyone, that concludes the video on the water pump painting and also getting that pulley painted up so it's good to go. So I'll be moving on to taking that power steering pump out shortly, and hopefully that'll go well. So thanks a lot for sticking around and watching this video, and we'll catch you all in the next one, which is coming really, really soon. And it's super snowy around here today. So we've got well over a foot of snow here, and kind of in the middle of that winter storm. Anyway, that's it for now, and we'll see you all in the next video, which is coming up really, really soon.